Hey guys, how's it going? This is Lou from AdriftInTokyo.com, and I'm finally back. I have been off the blog, off the vlog, everything for the past couple of weeks, well, even more than that, and I'm really sorry about that. It's been absolutely crazy with school, everything leading up to the holidays. I'm going to get into some details there, but it's been absolutely crazy, and I couldn't keep up with it. Between the schoolwork, friends and family visiting, and whatnot, it's just been absolutely crazy. So anyway, it is the beginning of January 2014. I am back in Nakano in Tokyo, and I just got off of Christmas holiday and New Year's, spending it back in the States, in Washington D.C. and New York. And I figured this would be a good time to catch up on the blog because we haven't started classes yet. That starts this Monday, and I can kind of give you a little heads up on what's happened. My hopefully New Year's resolution to keep up with the blog at least once a week because my expectations were way overestimated. And I'm gonna just kind of get into some, like I said, some details on school, what Christmas vacation was like. I just bought a bunch of stuff from the home goods store because I haven't been in my place for 2 weeks and it's a mess. But let's start with school. I figure, last time I spoke, it was probably right around Deep Dive Day, which was this big project at Hitotsubashi, and it involved a bunch of teams. We were giving a presentation to this supermarket chain on what the supermarket chain Lawson would look like in 2020, and so that was an awesome project. But that really marked the tipping point for when classes went from you know, like manageable to extremely unmanageable. And there were a few reasons for that. One was we have 4 terms here at the Hitotsubashi 1-year MBA. We all take it at the same time, the 1-year and the 2-year students. And in term one, they purposely load you up with as many credits as possible to free your time up in term 3 and 4. And so, to give you an idea of this, the credits required to graduate the MBA is 66. And in term one, we take approximately 24 credits. So already, right off the bat, you've got over 35% of your time in term one. And so each day we were working from 9 to 5, 3 classes a day, 2 hours each class, break for lunch, a couple of breaks in between the other 2 classes. And each class, we've got to prepare either a homework, definitely a reading, either in a textbook or a case study. And if it's a case study, that means reading up to 20 to 30 pages on a company for a given class. And so if you're studying for strategy or finance, you read a case on Nike or Southwest Airlines. You prepare for the case, writing your notes out, figuring out what the teacher may ask in the discussion, because you've got to go in there being prepared to discuss whatever the teacher brings forward. And if a classmate brings up a point, or you have if you have a debate, you've got to participate for your grade. And so each class, you've got that reading to do, either a case study or a textbook. You may have a homework. And then on top of that, the teachers are throwing group projects and midterms and quizzes, and then you had finals after that. So a typical day for us in the first year was, get up, grab whatever you can for breakfast, head on over to the train station, get to school by 8, so 7:30 to 8:30, meet with your study group or read before the first class, then classes start, 9:30, 9:45, and then you've got your classes, they end around 5, and after that, you may get a bite to eat, you may continue studying, but once you're done eating, which is pretty much getting a bowl of noodles, ramen, udon, or soba or something quick. You can't just linger around. After you're done eating, then it's the homework. You're reading, you're doing your group projects, you're working from pretty much 6 p.m. until whatever time you fall asleep. Now, I'm lucky. English is my native language. I can read pretty fast and understand it quickly. And sometimes I even need to reread it because we're talking about, finance topics, advanced quantitative statistical stuff. And so I'll do my work. I'll be falling asleep around 1 or 2 a.m. But there are very dedicated students who are working their asses off, staying up to 3, 4 a.m. I see activity on the chat lines, people staying up, doing their work, half asleep in class. Really dedicated people. And so that is what life was like every day from basically October until the end of December. There were no breaks, no holidays. Our weekends were absorbed by doing catching up with the work for the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then by that time you were struggling to keep up with Thursday and Friday, and so you had all this stuff just crammed in there. So I was in survival mode. There was no time for. I mean, I called my wife in the morning, in the evening, try to speak to my family in Brooklyn whenever I could, but it wasn't like I had plenty of time to just sit in front of the camera and tour around Tokyo. The only places I was familiar with was my route from the from my apartment to the train station, from the train station at Takebashi Station to the university, and then back again. I had no time to explore around Nakano. I had no time to explore around school, let alone Tokyo, and it was a mess. And so we, it's over with. Finals were a blur. That was like it was like 4 or 5 hours sleep every day for finals. You had finals from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Full day of finals, then study from whatever time you get done with that last final until the time you fall asleep. Then the next day, rinse and repeat. So term one is over from the school side. During term one, my good friend Steve from Fairfax in Washington was able to visit. That was a blast. End of October, in November, he had a great time out here. Even though I was studying, he's pretty independent. He walked around Tokyo. He saw more of Tokyo than I could. And then when my wife Sharon came out, we were able to see Tokyo as well. I got very lucky. The one weekend we transitioned between two credit courses. We had two courses end that were 2 credits, and then we started up 3 courses that were 2 credits each. So we swapped 2 courses for 3 courses. But the key was in between when these 2 courses swapped, Sharon visited, and so the 3 courses that we were taking were just starting, and so it was relatively calm, if you could say that. So there was a weekend in there where we were able to go to Kyoto for her birthday and our anniversary, and so that was awesome. I may talk a little bit about Kyoto and the trip, but to be honest, that was months ago, and I didn't have a chance to upload anything on that. So that it sucks, but maybe I'll talk about it. But all in all, that was an awesome time. Now I'm back in Tokyo. School starts on Monday. Today is Saturday. Um, I'm not that jet lagged right now. I slept a ton yesterday. I didn't sleep that much on the flight. It's a 14-hour flight direct from Washington Dulles to Narita, and the Christmas break was just what I needed. As I was mentioning, finals. We had finals from Monday until Friday. Oh, sorry, Monday until Thursday, and then we had this Christmas party Thursday night, and it was just go 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 with the finals. And then my flight was at 11 a.m. on Friday morning. So when I came back, my apartment was just a mess because I had this mad dash to get out there, get the finals done, pack up on Thursday night after I'm drunk from the Christmas party, head out on the flight on Friday, land, see the family for 2 weeks, come back, and now I'm back in Tokyo. So there's really no time to rest in there, but I couldn't put up any footage. I could have, but I didn't have time to put up footage when I was at home because, in Washington, we were hanging out, relaxed mode, seeing the family, taking it easy, because those 3 months were some of the busiest months of my life. And this is coming from someone who has studied chemical engineering at a university in Pennsylvania, where that was go, 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 and crunch time and trial by fire. I worked for 8 years at a company that was also very demanding. In those 3 months, it was like literally working nonstop, and I couldn't believe how difficult it was. And looking back, I understand why. The university is founded by a couple of Harvard Business School professors, and it models almost, I would say, very similarly to the Harvard Business School. Now, it's not as big as Harvard Business School. It's not as well known. It doesn't have as many people. It's not as, what's the word? It doesn't have the same type of connections. But our school has plenty of diversity. It has a lot of unique courses, and it's, in my opinion, it's just as hard because we've got a couple of students in the class who have family members who've gone to Harvard, and they say, yeah, that's pretty much what it's like. So anyway, so I'm gonna stop here, and then I'm gonna start up a new video and talk about getting back to Tokyo. When I've got my apartment, I'm gonna go through a couple of things that I've just shopped and grabbed from the home goods store, and we'll take it from there. So anyway, my New Year's resolution, as I've mentioned, is to try to put up a blog post out in Nakano, somewhere talking about, a cafe that I really like. Just get out there and do something different at least once a week. It doesn't have to be out in Nakano or out in Tokyo, but I want to get in front of the camera or get on the blog at least once a week. So that's my goal. And if I do it more than once a week, that's great, but that's what I want to do. So anyway, stay tuned. Sorry for the delay, but it was freaking crazy. And look forward to seeing you guys, and hopefully, we stick around for a couple more videos. Anyway, talk to you in a bit. See ya.